Welcome to the latest Motley Fool scoreboard. I'm Anand Chokkavelu, and we've got longtime fools Toby Bordelon and Rick Munarriz giving a 1 to 10 rating to the company that plays the field when it comes to dating sites. It's Match Group, ticker symbol MTCH. Talk about the strength of Match's business, including factors like industry and competition. A 10 is invincible, a 1 is hopeless. Rick's at a 5. Toby, you're at a 6.
Yeah, Match is the largest online dating platform in the world, with brands such as the original Match, along with Tinder, Hinge, and others. We probably all know at least one person who has found their significant other on one of these platforms here, right? There's competition out there, but none with quite the same scale. Match at this point has been surpassed by Tinder and the very fast-growing Hinge. There's a strong overall portfolio here, global reach. The problem, guys, is that online dating may have peaked during COVID. Match has seen declines across its major platforms since then. Tinder, for instance, saw declines in revenue and paying members in Q1 of this year. Younger people seem to be moving offline to your old school dating approaches like, bars and getting set up by friends and whatnot, or to some more niche apps that are kind of seem to be popping up all over the place now. Business is looking a lot tougher than it was just a couple years ago.
Yeah, I went with a 5. So Match Group, they've been setting people up online for 30 years now, 30 years. And it's the runaway leader after acquiring Tinder and other dating apps. I'm going with a lower score here despite its market dominance because revenue is decelerating for the 4th year in a row. This is also going to be the 4th year in a row of single-digit revenue growth for its collection of dating apps. It's great when your heart skips a beat, but it's not so great when it's your financial results skipping a beat.
For management, a 10 is Warren Buffett, a 1 is Homer Simpson. Rick's at a 7. Toby, you're at a 6.
Yeah, I really want to give him an incomplete here because of the recent management change. New CEO Spencer Rascoff took over in February. And you may remember him from the online real estate platform Zillow, which he co-founded and where he served as CEO for quite some time. He's off to a strong start here, right? Cutting costs, focusing heavily on AI efforts and attempts to attract the younger generation. I'd argue, though, that he was never really able to take Zillow to that next level. And it's unclear if he's really the right person to run Match and turn this thing around. A good start here, but I'm reserving judgment for now. So that's where my 6 is coming from.
Yeah, so Match Group, they've had this long history of misconduct allegations, and I emphasize allegations. Its rival Bumble wouldn't have been birthed outside of Match Group if it had done right by Bumble's founder when she was part of the co-founder team at Tinder. It's why I like the new CEO smell at Match now. So Raskoff, as Toby mentioned, just took over in March. It's February, sorry, and he's in the honeymoon phase of his honeymoon C-suite. He has a pretty good track record as a founder, not just Zillow, which Toby covered, but he also helped create and launch Hotwire when he was 24 and eventually sold it to Barry Diller's IAC. Then he went on to be at Zillow CEO for about a decade. Then he went to vacation home startup Picasso. I'm a fan of Raskoff over some of the potential rascals that were running the show in the past. I went with a 7, even though I would have swiped left on the former leadership teams.
For financials, a 10 is a fortress, a 1 is yikes. Both of you have 6s, Toby.
Yeah, cash flow is strong, $900 million for the last fiscal year, decent increase from the prior year there. Operating margin reasonable for the first quarter here, holding steady from the prior year. Revenue is declining, though. Match has high debt load as well. They're paying that down. I love to see that, but there's more work to do there. A priority here, I think, has to be returning to growth. And until they can do that, it's really hard to get too excited about the business and the financial situation.
Yeah, so I'm also at a 6. And Match Group, they seem to be rolling coming out of the pandemic, but courtship has turned more into a hardship these days. Revenue growth is not only slowing, but it's been declining in back-to-back quarters, these last 2 quarters. There's $3.4 billion in debt on the balance sheet, but Match has that under control. It's been pretty consistently profitable over the past year, so I went a little higher, despite the fact that revenue is going the wrong way with a 6.
Rick, let's move on to valuation. How well will Match Group's stock do over the next 5 years? How safe is it? 10's a sure thing, 1's a lottery ticket.
Yeah, so I'm going with a 10 to 15% return and a safety score of 6. I like the CEO. I like the valuation. And I know that some online dating profiles will exaggerate good qualities or only take photos from flattering angles. So maybe 10% to 15% annualized five-year return is optimistic. But I gave it, I'm okay with that. I gave it a reasonable safety score. Match Group is a giant. Who's going to disrupt the online dating market? Social networking sites, supermarkets, your Aunt Emma, the town matchmaker. I better stop before I talk myself down from a 6 on safety.
Yeah, 5 to 10% on returns for me. I'm honestly not convinced that growth is going to come back anytime soon. This is a prove it to me situation here. I'm just concerned their market beating days may be behind them. Safety score is 6 here. The brands are still strong. I don't see this company or its revenue going away entirely. They're going to get business. How much of it they get is a question, but I don't think they're going to have problems paying the bills anytime soon.
Time for everyone's favorite Top It. Rick, is there a company in Match Group space that you like better?
Yeah, so I'm going to go with Bumble. So Bumble founder Whitney Wolfe Herd is the early Tinder executive who left after having differences with the other co-founders. She started Bumble as a platform where women and female identifying users can make the first connection with more emphasis on safety than other platforms. And she was CEO until the end of 2023. In that time, Bumble consistently grew faster than Match Group. There were some signs of weakening near the end of her tenure, and she stepped down so former Slack CEO Leanne Johnson could take over. Things only got worse. After years of double-digit revenue growth, even as Match was clocking in with single-digit declining revenue growth, Bumble's been bee-stung. Jones left earlier this year, and Wolfe Herd has been back since March, so another new CEO on a dating site. Bumble has fallen. It's now trading for less than half of Match Group's revenue multiple and half of Match Group's forward earnings multiple. The risks are greater for Bumble, but so is the ceiling.
All right, this is unorthodox here, guys, but go with me on this, right? I'm going to go Norwegian Cruise Lines, NCL. The Norwegian's Epic, a ship that launched in 2010, was the first ship in the industry that had dedicated cabins for solo travelers, right? None of that single supplement nonsense. Their newer ships continue that tradition. If you're single, here's some free advice for you. Get offline, get out and travel, meet some other singles in real life. Take a cruise with other singles, right? Look, honestly, you should probably go on Virgin Voyages, but they're private too. So NCL is getting my nod here.
Thank you to both Toby and to Rick for their stock and their dating advice. They've given Match Group a fairly low overall score of 6.1 out of 10. Look out for a new scoreboard every market day at 7 p.m. Eastern. Next up is BBB Foods. Till then, Fool on.
I acquired Care.com in 2019, and that's part of the whole Match thing. So yeah, you might be onto something.
Yeah.